Everybody knows this point, correct?
Should.
Okay. This point does what? First, controls your wrist. Okay? Controls the strength of your wrist. Give me somebody. Anybody? Here. Thank you. Here, this point is about a half an inch up from the bend of the elbow, and it's just underneath the bone. A lot of people try to get this here. It's wrong. It's not on the outside. It's just underneath the bone. And when you do that, like strong, all you have to do is touch here, and the wrist bends. If I don't touch that point, watch. Strong, strong. Nothing happens. If I'm not on the point, nothing happens. If I slide to it, look what happens. The wrist just has no strength. Now, everybody does know that point, correct? Do they know this technique? Okay. This particular technique, I do it this way. All right, now the reason some folks teach that this way, if you leave that up, all he has to do is touch his hand. No, this right there, just touch, just barely touch. I can't do anything. That's the block. Some people teach it this way. Touch the finger. Just with your finger. Just touch. I can't do anything. So you don't leave anything up. I snake across the top and take him down. Okay, so when everybody get yourself a partner, and let's do that for just a second. This is the first point that we teach in kyosho. This one. The biggest thing to remember, especially when you start in kyosho, is that this controls the wrist. Okay? The second point that we teach is here. If you look at your arm, you have two muscles in the arm, one here and one here. Where this muscle comes down to an end, about 2 inches up, is another one that I teach that causes the wrist to bend. So we're going to work on that one a little bit now. And give me somebody, anybody. Bye-bye. This point, number one. This point, number two. Okay? It's where this muscle comes down to the end. If I touch there, strong, real strong, okay? Oh, it's not working. What's wrong? Off point. Wasn't where I said, was it? So I touch here, works every time. George Dillman also teaches one that's here, center of the bone. If you go from elbow, from wrist, go to the center, but this one has to be actually tapped. So make it strong. This one, you can just tap and cause that reaction. Everybody understand? No blank faces. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to use this one a little bit. We're going to use this one from a little different grab. This way, he's going to grab me here, like he's trying to pull me back. So I'm going to do this. Now, what did I do? As he grabbed, I did the same thing we were doing before. As I capture his hand. Now, he can still pull his hand away. This is a mental thing for him. When I touch his hand like this, he doesn't realize he can pull his hand away. He thinks I have it. When I come across the top, look where my arm goes. It goes right on that point that I just showed you. Then you just kind of do that and he's down. Okay? Pulling and pushing. Small circle means two-way action. It's two-way action. You tighten everything up. So as I'm here, I'm holding or pulling here, pulling with this hand, and pushing down with that hand. That happens. My son, when he was 9, got into pressure points. He says, "Come here, Daddy, let me show you something." He says, "Grab me." And I grabbed him like this. And I'm going, "What's this kid doing?" He says, "Tall." My head went into the floor. So this works for most everyone. All right, you will find that I don't do anything hard. If it's hard for you to do, then something's not right. Please raise your hand and let me, or call me over, let me help you with it, or call one of the other guys over. Let us help you with it. The idea in a seminar is for you to learn, to help you with these techniques. That's what we're here for, and that's what we want for you. We want you to learn. Next point. The next point is on the other side, directly across from this one, the first one that I showed you. If you'll reach and put your finger right there, you'll feel a hole. Feel it? Everybody should feel that. And that hole is where you want to go to cause the hand to open. That causes the hand to open. So let's see, give me somebody else. Okay, fine. I love these guys that volunteer because you always know these are the guys that want to learn. Right there, you feel the hole? Feel that? All right, if he grabs me, I take this knuckle and I put it in this hole, and grab hard, really hard. Don't let me go now. No, you're not supposed to let me go.
I can't.
And I'm raising his sleeve so you can see it better. It doesn't matter to me whether his sleeve's there or not. I know where the hole is, and I just kind of get him off of me. So this is so easy. In the hole, and do this with it. Just kind of. See, you cannot hold on to you. Everybody get their partner, and let's try that a few times. These points are simple. They're the beginning of kyosho. And I teach these a lot of places. I even teach them in higher seminars. These are the beginning, true. And some people think, well, these are just the little ones. Believe it or not, these are some of the most important points in kyosho jitsu. Because the man gives it to you. Who protects their arms? Nobody. If he reaches for you, he's got to give it to you. If he tries to punch at you, he has to give you that arm. If you know that you can attack that arm and do something with it or set something else up, that's very important. You have to get good at the arms. That's number one. That's the first thing you do. All right, the next point is directly across from this one. This muscle here also comes down to an end. That's where it is, about 2 inches up above the other one. Okay, so this one is not really a push point. This one needs to be hit. Okay, give me another, come on back up. Grab me again. This does the same thing. Now, if you look at the arm, I'll try to move where people can see as best I can, and I will shift around. This point is here. You see this muscle? It's very easy to see. Weightlifters sometimes build this muscle up real big, and then they're skinny, real thin here, because you can't build this up, this area. This is the muscle, but when it comes down here, this has to be hit in this direction, towards the hand. Most of you know, you've been studying with Tony, that energy comes down here and turns around and goes back up this side of the arm. Well, on this side, we're stopping it. We're just stopping the energy before it gets to the wrist and makes it strong. On this side, we want to knock it back into itself, which causes the hand. That's why I had you kind of doing this, is it pushes that energy back. And this point wants to feel that pressure, that kind of pressure. in order to operate. And you have to give them what they need in order to operate them. I can push this one here and I don't get anything. It needs a sharp pressure to cause it to operate. And so you have to hit that. So when I hit it and I hit it back towards my hand, grab hard, it comes off. And his hand goes, right? 6. Okay? Now, you guys over here. Point is right here. This muscle comes down to an end. It's about 2 inches up above the other one. It needs to be hit in that direction. Everybody understand? So if I strike this and strike it this way, towards me, his hand comes off of me, and then I can hit him again.
And you see, do it again.
Oh. Yeah, you know the joke, huh? Yeah. You know, that's funny because I would be doing seminars somewhere, and the guys that have been around a while, they'll be working with somebody else, and they'll go, he doesn't understand this, such and such, and I'm over there just beating the hell out of this guy, and they don't, they're just laughing. You know, they just set him up. Okay, so everybody get your partner, and let's try that one. Just this. One of the things that you want to do in learning kyosho is not work with the same person all the time. That is a mistake. If you work with your buddy all the time, all you know is him. One of the reasons that I get to work with so many people is because I have worked with so many people. Everybody is different. Their points are in basically the same place, but they're not always because of the length of the arm. And if you just work like you two, if you just work together and you never work with anyone else, then you don't know the feel of other people. You have big people, and you have little people, and you have fat people and skinny people, and all kinds of strengths. And what happens is after a while, you get a feel for just the person or the people. And it doesn't matter whether they're big or tall or whatever, because everybody has the points. But sometimes, well, like this gentleman here, for instance, if you would come, please. And give me a small person, like a little short, stocky guy. Little short, stocky guy. That's me. Come here, not you, your wife, the pretty lady. Yes, please, if you would. The reason I picked her because she's a little tiny lady, and he is tall. All right. Now, if I look at her, let's please turn around this way. You notice the length of her arm is not very long between here and here. It's very short, like her. So her points, 1, and then 2, you see, are closer together. Now, if I grab him, look at this arm. A lot longer. It's almost as tall as I am. But 1 point here, the next point's up here. So you've got like an inch difference with just these two people. So, but as you work with kyosho, work with the pressure points, your hands will go right to them, no matter if he's big, if he's got a long arm, whether he's got a short arm, it doesn't matter, because you just sense it, you just know. Thank you. That's all I needed. You know, everybody understand? I've told people this before, that the points, once you start doing them, you can't not do it. You will find the longer you do it, the more your hands go directly to the points, and you can't not do it. It's very hard for me to grab somebody. I'm not on a point somewhere because my hands just go there, and I can't help it. You'll be the same way. It doesn't take long. I've told people this everywhere, and they call me up and they go, yeah, you were right. Next point. Next point that I teach, anybody that doesn't, man, you work. The next point that I teach is right here. There's two muscles here. One here, one here. Now this point is, I think we need to move back so these folks here can see a little bit better. This point is in the valley between the muscles. This point numbs the arm. If you can take a man's weapons away in a fight, if you can take one of his weapons away, that gives you a better chance, doesn't it? Does it in Finland? I'm not sure. Okay? If I can leave him with one less weapon, then I have a better chance of winning. If I strike that arm like that, your arm just kind of, you don't want to do nothing with it, right? Yeah. Because what I'm doing is I'm taking that little knuckle, and if you'll notice my hand, when I do that, this little knuckle just kind of protrudes a little bit. And it goes right down in between these two muscles, and I get that. I strike that. Boom. Now his arm doesn't work like it did before. It gives me a better chance. Then I can hit him again, which is my whole purpose in life, is not to hit you once, but to hit you again. Everything that I do is oriented to self-defense. I could care less about sport. To me, that's not what the martial arts are. It's not a sport. This is a self-defense. Remember, people use this to protect themselves and their families. And it was made a sport later on. We are converting it back to a true self-defense. And that's what we're trying to do here. Everything that I do with the whole intent of, once I hit one time, I want him again where I can hit him. I want him to where I can hit him again. And then if I need to, hit him again, or have him locked up with something. So then I can hit him again. And I tell people, you never at any time punch a guy, boom, and stand back and admire your handiwork. Say, boy, that was hard, wasn't it? Because he's going to get up and beat the hell out of you. You know, I'm a little guy. I can't do that. I learned from women, okay? I found out a long time ago that women are pretty tough. You guys don't understand that yet because you're young, okay? But you think about this. A man, you get in a fight with a man. That man, after a while, will get to feeling sorry for you if he's beating you bad, and he'll let you up. Women don't. They do just like me. They beat you till you don't wiggle no more because they're scared. Now, I can fight better scared than you can pissed off any day. And believe me, they continue because they don't have the size and strength that a man has. And they know if they're in danger, they just keep on. You can't blame them. But that's what I do. I learned from you ladies. Thanks. Okay? So everybody get up and let's play with that for a second. Okay, next point. Next point affects the legs. Now, I think I'm the only one still teaching this point, and I teach this because I really like it. This is one of my favorites. This point affects the legs when you hit it. The legs go up. If I got to use you just a second, please. We have to get a little bit of everybody on this tape here. This point, this way. I'm gonna move around so everybody can see this. Number one, this point, if you hold the hand straight like this, it's here. Okay? The one I teach is here. If you're looking at it this direction, it's like at 1 o'clock. If you look at it from this direction, it's 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Depends on you. If you look at it this way, it's right there. If you look at it from this way, it's there. So, anyway, the point is not between muscles. It's actually on the muscle. But it's on the muscle kind of at a 45 degree here. If I do this, the legs want to give it up. This point, again, has to be hit towards you. That's why you do this in kata. This type of movements. If anything, like on your knife hand, if anything is the block, this is the block. Not this. This is the finish. Finish. This is the block. So if he grabs me, for instance, all right, let's just do it this way first. If I relax, you're all tense and everything, you got to relax. Now that's one thing about kyosho, it works much better if you relax. For you, when you're doing it. You cannot be tight and do kyosho. You can't do it. It's impossible. When you do that, you lock your own energy up. It doesn't work. But this point is here. See the feet go. Now, it took me a long time to figure that out. I used to hit people just to watch their feet come up. Because it was just amazing to me how that happened, their feet. What kind of sense does that make? So I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I finally figured it out. And that's that we are inflicting pain directly into the nervous system. When you do that, you have reflexes that you cannot help. They happen. And what your body is trying to do is get to the ground faster than the law of gravity will allow it. So therefore, the feet come up. And you probably noticed that around the room today as you were playing with some of these points, people's feet will come up. That's just really neat to me. Now, one technique that I use for a guy who's like done this sort of thing is I cup here with this hand, first point you learn, then I strike here with this hand, this way. So what's happening is you're getting see? His hands move, this comes here, then he's going to get that, or that, or that, or that, or whatever you want, or that. We get all kinds of stuff here. You know, it just depends on what you want to do. Whatever you want to do is fine.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you don't see that again. So whatever you want to do, you can do. You always control your man. You never. We have guys in the martial arts. They'll take a guy and they'll throw him way over there. Not me. If I throw him over there, I got to fight him some more. Right? He's going to get up, he's going to come back, we got to fight some more. If I do something like this, put him right down here, look what I have in reserve, folks. But as I'm always putting my man here. I want him here, I want him here, I want him right where I can control him. He's hating life right now. It doesn't matter. You see, it's easy to control your man if you have him here. And you always have something to back up. So that's where you start. Let's start here. Everybody get there. Geez, that look familiar to anybody? Doesn't that come right after this?
Somewhere, yeah.
I think it does.
Opinion kata, actually.
Yeah. Everybody gonna try it. We having fun yet?
Yes.
Oh, good. Because that is part of my intent. I want you to have a good time. I feel that people can learn better in a relaxed and friendly atmosphere than they can in a very regimented, militaristic style of seminar. I want you to have a good time. I want you to enjoy this. And I want you to learn something. Remember what I said about working with different people. I see the same people working with the same people still. You need to change off a little bit, and so you work with different people. It will help you immensely, okay? Next point that I like to teach is one here. I use this with a technique like this. Now, if we were going to fight 20 years ago, I'd have done this. Today, you might not see me close my hands. There are too many weapons on your hands that you have access to that you cannot use this way. This has a tendency to stop your energy, number one. And I just don't use it anymore. There's just too many things that I can do without that, with much less damage to my hands. And as we progress throughout the next seminars, you're going to see some different things. 'Cause I'm going to move from the really basic to something else. But you're going to learn to use more of your hands. There are reasons for this. And it's not like that. All the books you get, you open a karate book and it shows you this hand. And it tells you that you're poking the guy's eyes out. Wrong. This particular technique connects dots. It's the shape of the hand that connects the points. This technique, I have something special for this technique. They tell you in the books that it's a bear paw or a leopard's paw. And then they show you that this is a striking surface and you'd go like this. Well, I'm sorry, have you ever seen a bear or a leopard go? They don't. It connects the dots. It connects the points that you need. And that's why the weird hand positions. There's one like this that I'm going to show you later that just blows the energy out. Yeah, it was funny looking, isn't it? But since I learned that, it's really helped me. We use parts of the hand. We use these knuckles. We use this one. We used it earlier. I just do this, and it sticks out there enough to do the job. I use this. I notice some of you out here doing this on these points. I do that when I'm trying to be nasty. Usually, when I'm trying to be gentle, like I usually do, I hit with this part of my hand so that it doesn't hurt so bad. It's just like this point here. If I penetrate in there with this knuckle, they go down, and they go down fast, and it hurts. And it doesn't just hurt for now, it hurts later. So I try to keep things to where we don't injure each other. We're more gentle because we can do this without hurting each other. There's pain involved in learning pressure point work. You can't avoid that. But you can minimize it to a certain degree by working with each other, talking with each other. If I do something to him and he tells me what he feels and he does something to me and I tell him what I feel, that helps both of us. That's how you work kyosho. Kyosho, most of the work is done by information, talking, sharing. I could take somebody right off the street out there and show him every point that I know. Every point. And he could come in here and jump on somebody. Guess what? You're going to kill him. Why? Because he doesn't have the skills to apply the knowledge. I've had people get upset with their instructors when they first see the kyosho. Some of you folks are new and this is all you've ever known. Well, many of us out here trained for 20 years, block, punch, kick, with stupid interpretations of kata, stuff that was actually we knew were silly, but we accepted. And then we went to teaching it, same way we were taught, because we didn't know any better. We were doing the best job that we could with what we had. But now we're trying to progress on that, okay? Every instructor has to teach you mechanics. If you don't learn the kata, if you don't learn how to move as a martial artist, you will not be able to do this art. I don't care how many pressure points you know. You may pull off one or two, but as a rule, you will not be able to perform this when you need it. You have to have the mechanical skills. It means doing the stances, doing the kicks, doing all the things that we did forever. The mechanics are important. You can't just ignore that and just work on points. Without the mechanics, you can forget it. So as we progress through here, you'll notice that I'm using different parts of my hand. I use this knuckle right here. Gee, looks familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, hitting him in the rib cage and ripping his heart out. Yeah, I'd like to see somebody do that. Doesn't happen, okay? But I can use this really well. And I can use that on this point. Give me somebody. No volunteers? Oh, good one. Come on. Come on down. Now let's get here. Okay. Skinny arm. Good, because that helps me explain. See the head of this bone right here? This bone? Just beyond that bone, there's a hole there. Feel it? This causes this arm to do that. That's what I want it to do. I'm going to show you one technique first. I think later on, if you will remind me, I'll go into the other one. This is one that I'm going to show you now. Should I go in there? I'm trying to think, folks. I'm sorry. Do you have this point here? I haven't gone over this point here yet, but I will. Yeah, I know mine does too. All right, we're going to do it anyway. One of my students, a female, was in Lake City, Florida, and she was walking into Walmart. She was wearing a Dillman karate shirt, so this makes me suspect of the purse snatcher's mental capacity, but he goes up and tries to steal her purse. Bad move. She did a movement out of one of the Pinan katas that goes like this. And I had just gone over it, I think 2 nights before that in class. The guy came over, he grabbed her purse on this side, she caught his hand here. She caught his hand here, like so. She went here to bend the arm that way, then she came here to bend the arm that way and broke his arm. Because this guy weighed about 235 pounds, it scared her. So Diane did the only decent thing. She went back for it again. Boom! When she did that, the bones came right through the skin. He dropped on the ground in the parking lot, screaming. Police came a few minutes later. This is a little bit of Southern humor, but it's a little town, okay? And they are known to have policemen that are like this tall and this wide, you know? And when he walked up to this guy, he's laying on the ground screaming, "This bitch broke my arm, I didn't do nothing." So the cop's standing, he goes, "Well, when did you start carrying a purse, Bubba?" couldn't turn loose of it. She had destroyed the arm. So he still had her purse in his hand. So there was no doubt what he was trying to do. So anyway, this is what I want you to do. I want you to strike with this knuckle. Hold that. Right there. Okay? I want you to strike with this knuckle right here. This is going to cause that arm to go here. Oh, well, I was going to the other technique I was going to show. Here. You just need to bend it a little bit. Because adversarial reaction is what? If I push you one way, you want to push back the other way, right? So if I bend his arm that way, he wants to straighten, correct? Well, then I help him with this portion of the technique. Okay? Easy? Let's do it. Next one that I want to cover, Wally calls the Golgi's tendon. If you reach and feel the back of your elbow here, push your finger in there. It'll go right between and in a hole right there. You know, the Chinese talked about cavities or holes. Well, that's one right there. Well, all of these are. They're holes, cavities. And notice I'm showing you how you can get your fingers into the hole, or your knuckles into the hole. Well, with this one, we're going to use the knuckles again. And we're going to push in the Golgi's tendon. This has to be pushed. It doesn't respond to sharp pressure. It responds to constant pressure. Okay? So it's a push point, what we call a push point. Somebody? Thank you. This point, like I say, is right here. And one of the easy ways to find this point here is to take your palm and put it right in the center of his elbow, right in the center of your palm, like this. Make a fist, and then pull it until the fist comes tight down there, and this knuckle will fall right in that hole and push like you need it to push. Everybody understand? Everybody can see. Palm, pull. Happens every time. I know that you can't do this out there, but see, he'll drop right on down. Nice little point, see. Wally J gets on that thing and you're just ruined. You cannot, well, anytime he touches you, you can't get away. It's the neatest thing. 85 years old, and I found out how to get away from Wally, though. Has anybody ever met Wally? Wally J was a grandmaster of small circle jiu-jitsu. He was one of Bruce Lee's teachers. He is a great friend of mine and just a wonderful, wonderful person. Anyway, I learned how to get away from him. He would have me by the finger or something like this, and I'd be down going, Wally. He turned me loose. Great technique. Yeah, great technique. But anyway, Wally is just a great guy. And his two-way action, that's your tuite. Small circle jiu-jitsu is tuite. End of story. We call it tuite. They call it small circle. It's the same thing. So if I say small circle, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. We have to use that two-way action. Everything when you fight with two hands, you never fight with one hand. You're always, as you do something with this hand, you're doing something with this hand. Might be doing something with your feet or your knees. But let's say we're here. Let's say punch. I call it here. You see I've got here the first points that we were doing. Let me show you an easy way to get those too. A lot of people have problems grabbing these points in the beginning. hopefully I found an easy way to explain these so you can understand easily. Have you ever tied a knot in a rope and just slid your hand down? What happens when you get to the knot? It stops, doesn't it? When I was in the Army and we used to do rappelling, we used to call that a stop knot. Because if you're rappelling down, when you hit the knot, of course it pulls the rope into your back and stops you. And so we call it a stop knot. Well, the arm's the same way, pretty much. But it's even better because it's tapered. So when you block somebody, which this is the way I block, I turn my hand over, and as I grab, I just slide my hand down. When it comes to these two bones here, the heads of them are larger than this portion of his arm. Correct? On everybody. So when my hand gets there, look, I'm dead on both points. I can use this one, I can use this one, it doesn't matter. But I can't miss that way. You cannot miss. So, we're working this other point. Let's say he was here and I caught him here. Same difference whether it's inside or outside. Doesn't make any difference. I'm doing the same thing. But now I'm going to take this hand, put it in the hole, and watch. I kind of like this because sometimes I'll give him a little shot that way, and that sends a little message to his brain. And then I give him this. So here, it's a little quicker. Or you can take and just put in here and just rub like that. You know, this is what Wally does, and he'll just beat you to death. And you turn you like that. He'll take you up point and say, get up. Go ahead. Get up, boy. What's wrong with you? Get up from there. Terrible. So you can sit here and explain the error of his ways. You know, you shouldn't attack me like that. That's a bad thing to do. You know? And just give him a little bit more pain. So you can't go anywhere. And I'm exerting no effort. One of the things about kyosho is that you want to learn is you don't want to use any effort. You want it to be easy. Everything you do, get from it, boy. Should I stay here and let him get up? How long could I stay here? Yeah, through lunch. Probably through the next seminar. With one point.
Can you see the pain?
Say again?
Can you see the pain?
Well, I'm being very, very gentle right now, but I can if you would like to see some pain. I knew that you would, Tony. Since you're one of those sick puppies that likes pain, yeah. So you can do real neat things. You can come over here and you can get his fingers, and then you can sit here. Now, you know, you really shouldn't do that. Gee, that's a bad thing you did. Maybe you get the runs for a week for that. Get up! What's wrong with you? And you can take even like this. Am I exerting any effort? He's hating life right now. Anytime that he wants to move, all I gotta do is little things like that. Hey, he squirms really well. Get it. So, with kyosho, you want it to be easy. I'm an old man. Okay? I'm not 20 years old anymore. I can't do the things that I could do when I was 20. These marathon fights, they're over for me. Just jump in there, up in the air and spin around and kick, gone. I'm too old for that. So I want things that are quick, simple, to the point, without wasting motion. He touches me, I touch him. He's down, I go home. He wakes up in about 20 minutes with a little headache. He's no worse for wear. So that's important to me, that I'm safe, that my family's safe, that my friends are safe. That's what this art is all about. Your safety, your friend's safety, your family's safety. That's what it was originally. That's where we've taken it back to. Now, everybody get their partner. Golgi's tendon. All right, one of the things that I wanted to make clear to you is something we were just going over. That's why one of the reasons that I move around and I try to see what people are doing. And that helps me help you. As I was moving around, I saw a couple of things that people aren't doing that I need to explain. So what we're going to do, if my friend would come back up here, just a second. And all right, for instance, come here. In small circle, tuite, small circle. You have two-way action. Two-way action. You have the fulcrum, you have a lever, you have a base. This is the fulcrum, the lever. Here's the fulcrum, right here. Right here. So we're going to take the fulcrum, we're going to start with it. Pull, we're going to pull into the fulcrum. See, I'm already got his attention. Now, I'm going to crank the lever. Once I've got this locked and pulled tight, now I'm going to crank the lever. This happens. Okay? Now, if you have somebody who is a little more not sensitive to this, you can do a neat little thing called creating a base. Now, you can create this base anywhere you want. Doesn't matter. If I have him in this position, he's hard. No, he's not. You see, the base makes you stronger. The base causes nice things like this. Look at there, I got a belly. My leg, my shoe, the floor. Get back up from here. His leg. Oh no, you ain't going anywhere. But see, you can do nice little things like this and put that right there. Now see, I got his base. Get over here. You see, you can use him as a base. You can use anything as a base. But the base gives you something to push into. All right, if I have, let's turn around this way, please. Like when I had him down here, and I created the base here. Here's the base right here of his wrist. Because this is a joint, it flexes. I can bring that up. When I bring that up, I'm not pushing that way. A lot of people think I'm pushing that way. I'm not. I'm pushing that way. That action causes more pain. Okay, he's up. That causes more pain. But you see, I'm pushing directly into the base. We can make him do neat things. I love this. See, I've always liked this because you can make people do really weird things. I grabbed the guy by the toe one time. He went into a 6-inch hover. You know, like, how you doing that? It's called pain. When you tell a man to get up, if I have him here and I want him up, and I say, get up, boy, and I take him this way, he cannot get up. If you're going to tell a man to get up, you want him up, you have to take him in that way that he can get up. Understand? If I go this way, he can't get up. If I change up, I go this way, get up. See, I have him now. But using small circle of tweak aid, I don't have to make these big circles and everything. Watch. Isn't that neat? Thank you. Thank you. So, very much. Great guy. Give him a hand. Oh. Well, Tony told me 5 minutes. 5 minutes is up. So, we're going to start this again after lunch. We'll play some more. We'll get a little more. A little more. We'll keep on. Tony, thank you.
Thank you. Keep
Great group of people.
Mä käytän Go-Rider Sapper 21 tuolta olkapäästä. Yes, säästä. Easy. Ja mä käytän mieluummin tätä. Tässä on. Ja Antti, sun tarvii tehdä. Pysyä täysin rennosti. Ja me käytän sun kättä vähän lähemmäksi. Ja niin pure ketään. Ja tänne suuntaan. Ja mä käytän sun kättä pienen napsun tästä.